Good morning, Bulldog Nation, and happy Saturday. This is Josh with the Governor's Bulldogs coming to you just a few minutes before the Miami and Texas A&M game. And the title of this video is Bama Stands on Business and Eyes a Third Matchup with the Georgia Bulldogs. Big comeback win against Oklahoma, was down 17-0. Oklahoma has given up a 17-point lead 2 times now in the college football playoff. Once to Georgia at the very beginning of 2018 in the Rose Bowl. The Nick Chubb, Sony Michel team, when Jake Fromm was the quarterback, led the Dogs to a victory in the Rose Bowl, and then went on to play Alabama in the national championship game in Atlanta. Oklahoma gave up a 17-point lead in that game. And then last night, Oklahoma jumps out to a 17-0 lead against Alabama, and Alabama looked totally defeated in the first quarter. And I texted my buddy who's a big-time Bama fan in the first quarter. I said, dude, the way this looks, Bama is not winning this game. And I shouldn't have done that because I can't stand when people do that to me in the first quarter of Georgia games. When they, as soon as Auburn gets up 7 or Ole Miss jumps to an early lead, I get 5, 6 text messages from people saying, how about them Dogs, talking trash and stuff like that. And I don't even respond because it's like, have you not seen Georgia play a football game the past few seasons? We're a second-half team. We're a four-quarter team, so probably shouldn't have done that. But Alabama did look totally defeated. I was telling my buddy this morning, I said, dude, the body language of the entire sideline, the coaches, the players, Ty Simpson looked scared in that first quarter. The offense was not in rhythm at all. A couple of quick 3-and-outs, damn near took a safety in the end zone. A bunch of inaccurate throws by Simpson. Couldn't get any run game going. Of course, we already know that. And Oklahoma jumps up to an early lead. There were times in that game when Mateer looked sharp, man. Like he was hitting some good balls. And then there were other times he missed wide open guys, wide open, and didn't miss them by a little bit. He missed them by a lot. And the turning point in that game, and back to the body language thing, guys, like Bama looked the same way they did against Georgia. Like they just looked out of sync, didn't look confident, didn't look like they believed in that first quarter. But the Tim Keenan blocked punt was the turning point in that game. The whole Alabama sideline literally erupted with energy after that Tim Keenan blocked punt. That was the turning point in that game. Once that blocked punt happened, that's what gave Alabama the belief. The body language of all the players, all the coaches changed. And it was like, man, let's go down here and put some points on the board, put 7 on the board, make these boys tighten up. Bama goes down the field. Wide receiver gets into an end zone, dives into the end zone. A few plays later on that drive, gets in, puts 7 on the board. Then Bama goes back down, gets another field goal. Now it's 10-17. Alabama's defense playing good, stopping Oklahoma. And let's not act like Oklahoma's like an explosive, offense, but they had all the momentum in that game. And once a team or an offense gets momentum, it's a lot harder to stop. So the Bama defense stands strong, gets a couple of stops, and then Mateer throws that pick 6 late in the second half. And the ball game gets tied up 17-17. From that point on, Bama was in control of that game. And, man, I'm not going to lie, like going into the game, I thought this game was a toss-up. Don't get me wrong. But I thought the Oklahoma defense was going to play better than they did in the second half. Like Bama was able to move the ball for stretches of this game. Get a little bit of run game going with number 4, Hill. Josh Cuevas came back, made a couple of big plays. A couple of big plays by the Alabama wide receivers. And Bama just takes control of the game, man. But it was all about belief. Like this Alabama team just looked out of the last month of the season. Looked out of sync, looked unsure of themselves, didn't look like they had the same belief as they did when they came into Athens and beat Georgia. And when they went on that 4-game stretch where they beat 4 top 25 teams right in a row. Like Bama was playing good, confident football, fast, downhill, confident, attack football in those 4 games. And then throughout, as the season lingered and went along, it just looked like Alabama was playing unsure of themselves and not as confident, not as fast as free. And the offense wasn't complimenting the defense. Like the Bama defense has been good all season long. So now Alabama was down 17, comes back, beats a good Oklahoma team, a team that's had their number. Like Oklahoma beat them this season in Tuscaloosa, blew them out last season in Norman. So this is an Oklahoma team that had Bama's number. Bama comes back and beats an Oklahoma team that had their number, and now they're going to the Rose Bowl to play Indiana. But Bama, the main thing to me is that Bama has their confidence back. And once a team believes and has their confidence back, that makes them dangerous. So then, here we go into this. Alabama's a little bit of an underdog against Indiana, but bro, like, I'm just one that believes, like, athletes, more times than not, are going to win the day. Like, you got to have the players. I understand that Ohio State has better players than Indiana and a better coaching staff, some would say, than Indiana, and Indiana was able to beat them. But the law of averages tells me, after years and years and years of watching football, that more times than not, the team with the better players and the team with more belief is going to win the game. And Alabama has better players top to bottom than Indiana. And Indiana's going to go into this game again against a team that's got a lot more talent than they have. So the question is, can Alabama be the better team than Indiana on just this one day? On just this one day, can the Alabama roster have better playmakers, make plays, force some turnovers, play the field position game, get some sacks, get another pick six, be better on special teams? Like, can Bama do that for just one day? Hell yeah, Bama can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Once this Bama team believes in themselves and they get hot, man, best believe they can make a run. This was the spark that Alabama needed to make a run in this playoff. And if they beat Indiana, in the Rose Bowl, then what? Then what's everybody going to say about, Alabama shouldn't have been in? You go and you beat Oklahoma on the road, and then you beat the number one team in the country. Then what? Then there's nothing really left to say. It turns out Alabama is good, and Alabama can go on a run. And I said in my pregame videos leading into last night's game, I said, man, whichever team wins this Alabama-Oklahoma game, I hope they go on a run. I hope that's the team that we see in the national championship game. I'm sick and tired of the Big Ten fans, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear shit about Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, the last two, the last three. No, none of that. Like, I'm hoping the SEC kicks ass and takes names in this playoff. I want an all SEC national championship. And I know some fans are going to disagree with me on that, but stay tuned for the next video, because as soon as I'm done making this one, I'm going to go ahead and get it started, processing, publishing, all that stuff that takes forever. I'm going right into a Georgia Ole Miss and a Georgia looking forward outlook video on the rest of this playoff. But I want to see Bama again. Just to go ahead and give you a little sneak peek on where I stand. I'm not going to get too much into it right now, but I want everybody, all the big brands, all the teams that have given us trouble, Bama, Ohio State, all the best teams in this playoff, I want them. I want Georgia to play the best and to beat the best. That way, at the end of this, there is no question who the best team, who the best college football program is in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. I want to kick ass and take names. Pick them up, line them up, knock them down. I'm hoping the Dogs play absolutely the hardest, most talented, best coached teams in this playoff and beat them soundly. I'm hoping Georgia gets hot and goes on a run here, man. I'm fired up about this thing. And we'll get into that in the next video. But Alabama, same thing. Now they're back believing. Can they beat? I think their biggest test on that side of the bracket is indeed Indiana. I don't think it's Texas Tech or Oregon. James Madison's not winning that game against Oregon. You don't even got to worry about that. Tulane's not going to beat Ole Miss. You don't got to worry about that. But, now that Bama has their belief back, can they put a game together on one day and be better than Indiana on one day with the more skilled roster? Man, that's something they can do. That's something they can do. I think Kalen DeBoer, they showed a stat this morning. Kalen DeBoer is 7-0 coming out of a bye week now. What do we got? We got 11 days to the next game. I mean, that's not quite a bye week, but he's got 11 days to prepare for a good Indiana team. So, and I'm telling you guys, I think there is something to these buys. I don't think the buys are good. You give another chance. You give another team a chance to get hot and be playing their best football and get game speed experience before you do. I think it's too long of a layoff just to come back and be firing on all cylinders. So we'll talk about that in the next video. But man, to all the Bama fans, congratulations. I want to see you guys in the national championship game, man. That shit just means more. I want to keep this thing all in the SEC. And Georgia and Bama have split this season. Bama got one in Athens. Georgia got one in the SEC championship. Why not let the two kings of the SEC battle it out for a national championship again? Like, go ahead and decide, after the split, they're both 1-1. Man, let's go ahead and play the third game and see who the better team, who the better college football program is. Absolutely. My favorite game of the year, every single year, is the Georgia versus Alabama game, because it better bring out the best in my Georgia Bulldogs. So, Bama, congratulations. Great win on Oklahoma. Good luck against Indiana. Maybe you boys can get hot and go on a run, and we can get the third game, Alabama versus Georgia. I'm going to hop off of here, make a Georgia video real quick. Don't know how long it'll take to come out. This YouTube processing time, man, is ridiculous for videos longer than 10 minutes. You get to 30 minutes, you in trouble. You're going to be uploading for 8 hours. So let me go ahead and hop off of here, guys. Make a Georgia video. It'll be out later today, later tonight. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy these playoff games, man, and go Dogs.